Good afternoon, super friends, and welcome to the Monday, February 9th edition of the Sacred News and Weather. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm coming in not quite sure where we're going, but we will see. What is on the forefront of my being and my body is, of course, Bad Bunny's halftime show yesterday, which brought me so much joy to see the true all-encompassing American experience finally being celebrated felt really, really good to me. And what it reminded me of was something that I learned many moons ago now. I don't know if folks know this or not, but I am a white mom raising a Black daughter, and part of my journey has been to make sure that I'm raising her well and that she has mirrors and that I'm aware of my own blind spots in raising her. And it's just opened my eyes to so much of what I might have called like innocent blind spots, like innocent blindness, thinking that I was being pure of heart and acting from a place of love when really what I was doing was inadvertently canceling culture by pretending to not see color. I was reminded so much yesterday of the importance of seeing all of the color and all of the flavor and to celebrate all of the color and all of the flavor, because by pretending it doesn't exist and or by trying to whitewash everything, as we often try to do in this country, in the United States, we lose the magnificence, we lose the richness, we lose the importance of any number, all of the cultures that are not our own whitewashed version of what we're doing. And so celebrating that, feeling really, really I don't know. It's hard to find the counterbalance to what's happening out in the world. And last night for me was really a sweet moment to breathe in a sigh of relief before hopping back, I guess, on the bandwagon of just really wanting to unite, bring unity to all of us. And how do we do that? And how do we stay in presence and in love and in unity when our world is so clearly divided? I don't think that that's what I'm going to be channeling about today. I just thought I would share it. Um, the image that comes to mind that I think, and this is where I think we're going to be going, is of the image of Bad Bunny handing the Grammy Award to his younger self, to the younger version of his self, of him, yeah, younger version of himself. It just sounded funny in my ears. Speaking of my ears, you can probably hear in my voice it's still a little funny from the asthma medication. I don't have a cold. I just have been medicating allergies and asthma, and so it's leaving my voice a little funny. I think I'm going to stay here and I'm just going to give you my preamble, which is, as with any messages I deliver, take what resonates and leave what doesn't behind. These messages are timeless, so whether you're tuning in real time or catching me at a later date, trust that if you're tuning in, there probably will be something here for you, but if there isn't, feel free to turn me off or to find another video. So going back to that image of the adult Benito handing his younger self, his little boy self, that Grammy Award and telling that version of himself to never give up. That feels really present with me in the collective right now. I feel like there are so many of us who are in this place in our lives where we're recognizing the toxicity of the systems that we are a part of just simply by needing to stay alive. And we are often finding ourselves enslaved to a system just to keep food on the table, just to keep our medical bills or medical attention current. And whether you're in our country or in the US or abroad, there's still a distinct level of having to participate in a system that is really set against our growth and expansion, particularly in the United States right now. I think we're really feeling the weight of the system failure right now. And the idea that our little girl, little boy selves who had dreams, or our immigrant families beliefs who had this dream that we could have, that they could have a better life, that they could create something different for themselves by either coming here to the US or just believing in the American dream, believing that anything is possible, and then inadvertently falling into the system that will deliver that message but fail you at every turn. That feels really present. And so watching the young, oh, here comes a cat. I'm going to push her off of me because she's a little bit stilty. Yes, I know, Bella Bella, but I would like you to go that way. Thank you. Watching the child of a truck driver. My own father was a truck driver, so there's maybe a little bit of sweet somethingness in there as well. My family was, I would say, middle class, but lower middle class, very much working class, blue collar. My mother worked in a grocery store for a grocery chain, and my father was a truck driver. There was a business ownership on my father's side of the family, but it never did particularly well. So, or it did before my father took it over. Anyway, my father did a lot of truck driving and tow truck driving when I was a kid. So feeling that flavor there, and then feeling into our goals and our dreams and our aspirations, and like what feels really sticky, and maybe even unsafe. Like there's a feeling of it's unsafe to believe fully in myself at this time when everything is so fragile and everything is so like the vision I have is like the floor is shaking, and you're trying and collapsing underneath you, and you're trying to like get across. Maybe it's a bridge. There's a bridge that is doing this and trying to shake you off, or like a stone bridge that's crumbling, excuse me, behind you as you're like crossing a chasm, and it feels decidedly unsafe to leave the system. But what I know in my heart is that it is actually the only way we are going to shed the toxicity of these systems is to really invest in ourselves and really invest in our own endurance and our own belief in what is possible for us, and letting the system actually fail itself by no longer buying into the lies of the system. So that feels really forward now. And there's something coming forward. I'm hearing, so I'll give you, I think it's from the Gospel of Philip, which is one of the Gospels that was not included in the canon. And the Philip talks about all of the Gospels that talk about resurrecting in this life as opposed to going to heaven and resurrecting somewhere else in another realm. All of those Gospels were cut out of the canonical Gospels because they don't require the help of the hierarchy. They don't require the help of a priest. They don't require the help of an emperor or a king. They don't require the help. It doesn't require the help of a politician or a system in order to allow what is no longer serving you to die off, to resurrect in your newest form. And I think this is actually coming forward now that I'm talking and now that I'm channeling. It feels like it's coming forward because we are about to move into the year of the fire horse. And it feels like we are in like the last bastion of the shedding right now of the wood snake. And it feels really rough and tumble. Like I feel like And maybe your whole year has been that up until now, but it feels like almost like the way I feel like the patriarchy, the toxic patriarchy is dying off. It feels like everything is coming to the surface, everything is coming to a head, everything is rising up because it's got to go now so that we can start moving forward. Oop, I just knocked over an empty can of bubbly water. Um, so that we can move forward with the momentum of this upcoming lunar new year. Resurrect in this life. We must resurrect in this life, meaning we were never intended to die and go somewhere else, go to heaven and live a different life in heaven and or hell, depending upon what you believe in. I believe that it all resides within us, and that Philip was telling us like it is our duty to kill off our darlings. It is our duty to die to what is no longer for us, to let old lifetimes, old storylines, old shit, all of the hangers on, the Klingons. It is our duty in these bodies, in these lives, to let go so that our souls can evolve. We came here, I believe, our souls chose this time and this place to evolve, to grow, not just ourselves, but the collective. If you're watching my messages, you already have some buy-in into what I'm doing and what I'm saying. And it's because you recognize that the work that you're doing at your soul's level has a benefit for the collective. It has a benefit for not just yourself or your family, but your larger community and the communities that go beyond and beyond and beyond. And that's why we're here. That's why you're watching my messages. Sorry, I'm getting that image again of the little boy and the Grammy. And I just think that that spirit is directing me to bring it home again, to bring it back to like what wants to go are all of the beliefs that are keeping you from living out your childhood dreams if they are valid in this present version of yourself. For some of you, you know, your childhood dreams might not actually be valid, but the wounding that you endured, whether big stuff or small stuff, whether you remember it consciously or not, the wounding that we endured as children is what often keeps us from stepping fully into our dreams and stepping fully into our new lives. And there's this feeling of the word that keeps coming is resurrect, resurrect, resurrect. So let it all die off and be reborn into the new version of yourself, the version who knows that you have exactly what you need to create the life of your dreams. You know, you can see, you have hindsight because you've let it die off. You know what you have been through, you know what you have endured, you know what serves you, and you know what does not. And from there, we're being invited to take the next step forward into this next version of ourselves. And I can just feel again like it's like a big old pimple coming to a head. It's like everything that is ready to go is rising up to be done, to just be moved out. And for some of you, it feels like it's quite painful, and for others, some like there's another group that's like you're already in that fire horse energy, you're already taking off. But I think if you're tuning into me right now, it's probably because you're feeling the squeeze. And I just want you to know that the squeeze is exactly right. You're exactly where you're meant to be right now and to trust it. This old storyline is dying off, and the dying off might not be very comfortable, but it's beautiful. And when you are on the other side of it, even if you can't see the beauty now, even if you can't see the beauty 6 months from now, there will be a time where you can look back and you will see the beauty in it because of the beauty that you have become. And I think that's where I'm going to leave you. Mm. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like and share and subscribe if you will. And I will see you this coming Wednesday. Take care. Bye bye.